Hashem Yahava Elohim Shalom Ad Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon everyone who catches this message. It's time for a party. Mitch Shaw and Ritasan, I see you. Hashem Yahava Elohim Shalom Ad Barak. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. It's time for a party. Today's party, we're going to talk about 3P. Plan, produce, peace. Let me know if I need to speak up. I am outside, and so my voice might not carry. Let me know what's going on out there. Gonna wait a little while before people come in. I just started up. It's been a while since I've been on. So, once again, thank you, Akati, Tada. Thank you for being here. It's very tabah to see you. Been up to a few different projects, even though I haven't been on the screen. You know, I'm always up to uploading some kind of content. There's been quite a few things happening lately, so it's time to pull it all in together. Earlier last week, I was sharing 3 words: grift, swindle, and giddy. On social media nowadays, they said everybody's a grifter. Whether they're talking about scripture, if they're talking about some kind of little minuscule trinket to buy. Everybody's grifting. Everyone wants to swindle you. They want to trick you into buying something that you don't really need. These grifters have gotten so skilled in swindling you that they'll make you feel giddy in the exchange. Now, that's not the righteous way to be. So, I was speaking with my brother, the Mad Trucker, because he likes to talk about SBS, Smooth Brain Syndrome. You see, you're supposed to have wrinkles in your brain. So if you have smooth brain syndrome, it means there's been this polish, this white wax that has been buffered onto your brain to the point to where it's smooth instead of wrinkled, and you're not thinking. They say the more wrinkles that you have in your brain, the more intelligent that you are. Don Perez, 1810, bienvenido. Hashem Yahava Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Pardon me, I'm trying to get my devices to where they're supported. There we go. Stephen Sousa Michelle, bienvenido. Calvaron 3. Dina Ibrahim. Hashem Yahava Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you all for being here. So, we're about to have a party. Whenever I go and do a live broadcast around this time, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we talk about ethics in entrepreneurship. There's actually 10 different special interest groups that I talk about. I've taken a hiatus for a while because I was building on Discord, and I was also looking at what's going on with my message, so to speak. And Tada, thank you for the 100%. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. Tada, Shukran. Karibu. Or is it Ashante? It's Ashante, that's the one. Karibu means you're welcome. Ashante means thank you. Tada, Shukran, gracias. Thank you. I see the Arabic. I can't quite read it. I do speak Farsi. Speaking of which, before we go any further, let's start this out correctly. I'm gonna recite Al-Fatiha and then we'll go on into today's party. Thank you for reminding me. Shukran Dina Ibrahimi. Shukran. Thank you for reminding me. Usubillahi mina shaitan rajim. We seek our Father's protection against shaitan and the evil ways while we walk the divine path. Basmillahi ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyaka nabudu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas sirata al-mustaqima. Sirata allatheena an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim walad dolin. Ameen. In the name of our Father, the most merciful, the most gracious, Lord over all worlds, creator of our deen, the most merciful, compassionate. We ask you to forgive us when we disobey like others have done before us. We ask you to teach us how to forgive others the way that you forgive us. We thank you for creating the deen. Ameen. You're welcome to go to Quran.com, Quran.com. You will find all the surah there. Surah Al-Fatiha is the first surah. You will find it in Farsi tongue and also written out. You can hear it. And then you can also see it translated into English. Rowdy One, such vlogger, simply said, Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom HaBarak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your families, and your circles. As for everyone who is here, thank you for coming to the party. Today's party is 3P. Plan, produce, peace. You see, I have a name as far as being an artist. My name is 3P Roche. 3P. Plan, produce, peace. Roche. People say Ruach. People say Ravak. If you say Roche in French, it means rock. And if you have a cornerstone, some will call that Pita, Peta, Peter, Padre. So my name is 3P Roche, because that Roche represents wind, spirit, and soul, like Ravak. Because we were given a standard from Yahweh Elohim, our creator and our provider, subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises to our source of sustenance and mercy. We're led through the wisdom of Ravak HaKadosh. And we were given the example of how to live through Yahashua HaMashiach. Those who live according to those standards and who have found their talent and realize that they'd like to make that their livelihood, if you want to be of service to those who are in the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim, then you will be part of the Sahaba. The Sahaba are the promise keepers. La ilaha illallah is the statement you would say. There is none worthy of worship except Yahweh Elohim. Some would say Allah or Allahu. Allahu also is Elohim. And if you look at the standards of those who use the Quran or those who use the Bible or the Apocrypha, they have the same standards. Their pattern of speech is different. Certain sounds are different, however, the intentions are the same. And even if you don't understand the words coming out of their mouths, you will see it in their actions, in their deeds, their actions. It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. But if a person can't speak, you can still know if they are of the kingdom of Yahweh. It's not so much about, I claim to be of the kingdom. Well, that means nothing. It shows. Look how glorious and brilliant I look. No. It's about love. And love is not something that you can buy at a store. Can't show love by buying a card and some roses and handing it to somebody. That's not love. That's showing admiration. So, we are going to plan to produce peace. And so I ask you, what is your talent? What is it? What can you do? If someone needed an item or a service, what can you craft with ease? Doesn't cost you too much sweat to do it. You know how to get the materials if necessary and put it all together. Hand it to them. Boom, here you go. What can you do? Because the talent isn't just running fast. It's not throwing a ball, it's not catching a ball, it's not singing and holding a tune, it's not dancing. A person who can lay bricks and build a sturdy wall or a foundation to a house. A person who could clean that house. A person who could cultivate the yard outside. A person who could grow a botanical garden. I don't know how well the noise canceling works, but whoever put together that engine to make that motorcycle be able to go up the hill, there's a talent involved. It's not just some machinery, because even behind the machinery, there's a person. So let's say you have figured out what your talent is and you do want to be of service. Have you attempted to write a resume? Have you attempted to really sit down and describe your skills and your abilities? What education you've attained? Things that you accomplished while you were on task at some site? Or even if it happened to be toil at a job, labor. Because there's a difference between working and being at a job. If you are at your work, you are naturally doing things that you produce from your talent. If you're at a job, then you are at a for hire circumstance. You are working for hire. You are laboring for hire. You are toiling at a task. Whether they pay you at the end of the task or a little bit before and then at the end, or if it's by the hour, a job is different from work. Now, you can be at your work using your talent to be of service in the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim. And when you do so, you could say that you are an entrepreneur. Not only are you an entrepreneur, you could also say that you are a sole proprietor. You don't have to be in the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim to say so. However, there's a standard that goes with it. That's why we focus on the ethics in entrepreneurship. Because yes, you can go and sell anybody anything. However, you can also offer someone something that they need, something that is necessary. And let's say you find that, you track that down, and you get your resume all together, and now you're ready to open up your proposed business. Some people would say, go out and secure a loan. Well, if you wanted to do that, before you start gathering up what you consider your equity and what you have to prove that you can pay back the loan, they want you to tell them about what your product or service is. Lady Couture, speak fee. Speak life into your loved ones. It's very about to have you here. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. Warahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you, your families, and your circles. Minister Stephen, it's very about to have you here. Lady Couture, it's very about to have you here too. I'm around some very influential people. Thank you all for coming through. You're gonna need a business proposal, because when you speak with the loan officer, they want to know not just what your product is and what you think you can gain as profit within a month or 6 months or a year. How are you beneficial to the community? How are you going to make a positive impact on society? Because this isn't just your community, this isn't just your city, this isn't just the county or the state, this is the nation that you're going to represent now, because you've become part of the gross national product. So now let's backtrack a little bit. Because if you are part of the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim, you can only serve one master. So everything that you eat, live, and breathe comes from Yahweh Elohim, belongs to Yahweh Elohim, and it goes back to Yahweh Elohim. Are we clear? In my case, I am the sole proprietor of Highest Heights Studio. That means I'm responsible for anything that happens, whether it be positive or negative. I am the face. I work for Yahweh Elohim. Yahweh Elohim is always hiring entrepreneurs. So, what is your plan to produce peace? Swan Jakes, Swan Lake, Swan Lakey, Swan Lake. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, Warahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. That's you and everyone here. Who's heard of the story of Sherwood Forest? Who knows about Nottingham? Who knows about Morgan Freeman playing the part of a Moor in a movie called Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves? Kevin Costner was Robin Hood. I suggest you go watch it. Came out around the same time as Lean On Me. Morgan Freeman as a principal, Lean On Me. Morgan Freeman as a Moor during the Crusades, Robin Hood. Great movie. You ever heard somebody tell you, everything I do it for you? There was this guy, he wrote a song, and he and some other people composed it, and it became a #1 hit. Everything I do it for you. Bryan Adams, front man for a band. That song put a great impression upon me. The movie put a great impression upon me. That song is from the movie soundtrack, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And yeah, that song got great many awards that year. I was in the high school band. I was in the marching band, and we also did symphony and orchestra once we were out of the football season, going into spring. That was one of the songs that was part of our lineup.
We did other stuff like Seagate Overture and all that kind of thing, stuff you'd hear from Chicago Symphony, right? We were actually very good. And I'm not just bragging on myself. I will brag when I say when we played that song, I actually had a solo. I played the trumpet, and my best friend played the saxophone. I had a solo, he had a solo, and we tore it up. There were people in the crowd who were crying. We did an excellent job. That song, that moment, that situation inspired me to do a lot of things in life. And this is part of it. Vanderson Makita, LDKDKFBGV. Hashem Yahav Alahim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you, your family, and your circle. Highest Heights Studio functions as a trust. If you get together a group of different companies and businesses who have the same interest in one thing, it doesn't have to be what they sell, one common interest, then you can form a fraternal trust. All profits and procedures from this trust are non-taxable. As a Muslim or a person who is walking the path of Islam, I cannot practice with insurance risk, because there's a difference between rizq and razak. One is provisions from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The other is risk. There's a risk involved with insurance. With Islam, there's a practice called takaful, Takaful, takaful. You build a trust. You have an agreement. Highest Heights Studio is the head of a trust because there's 10 special interest groups, all formed, looking towards the interest of a group called STOP, STOP, sustenance, textiles, occupations, purpose, community development. If we initiate the means to provide our own sustenance and then produce our own textiles, then we can also have our own occupations, because that means wherever you work is where you're occupying space, and then wherever you happen to lay your head, you're occupying space. We want to secure both means. And that's our purpose, to build a legacy to where our grandchildren's grandchildren can do the same. If Highest Heights Studio is the umbrella, then STOP is the spearhead. Rocket Love, it's very tabah to have you here. Alba, Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you all. Today's party is 3P. Plan, produce, peace. If you look it up, you can find a template for a 7-part business proposal. It's an outline. I do have it referenced in some of my own works. As a matter of fact, If you were in TikTok, then you could go to the 3 top pinned videos in my profile. And if you go to YouTube, then you can go to the Entrepreneurship Path playlist. You will see everything you need to know that I have concerning entrepreneurship up to today. I've been on YouTube since like 2016. I won't say that everything goes all the way back there. I will tell you that there are quite a few different playlists on the Angelic Discipline profile. So you can find the business proposal list there, and it will also describe the Highest Heights Studio business proposal, as a matter of fact. That's what's there in a video format. It's written across the screen with some screenshots just going through like they used to do them a lot back in the day, not so much anymore, PowerPoints. Do you know I've been considering doing that? I've got a lot of my papers from college, and it's still the same vital information. There are other programs that I wrote about while doing my research, and that's part of what made me stop, is because I was basically feeding my information back to the college. That meant they could put their stamp on it too. When they put their stamp of approval on it, they were also saying that now we are partial owners. We're going to put it in our archive. Now, that's fine, called and dandy, except the problem was they were saying, we need you to draft a proposal. You are going to be an intrapreneur. You're going to work within a company, use your talent so that everybody else can also gain from what you do. As an intrapreneur, not an entrepreneur. You're an intrapreneur, which means you might be working within a corporation or maybe even a partnership. In this case, this was said company is 20 people, 50 people, maybe even 100. And they needed a project to work on, so you would give a proposal. I gave several different proposals and realized, well, if I can do a proposal like this, then I can do one as a sole proprietor as well. I can go find 10 different people who want to work with such enterprises. That's why I'm in front of you today. It's not that you have to have a button-up shirt. I've done that. We are farmers. I did a song that remixed that, and it's not talking about insurance at all. Einstein, 1978, strong one. How about I'm talking about the lineage I come from, and we are sharecroppers, we are farmers. What about if I told you I'm a disciple who was the grandson of a deacon? We are farmers. So yeah, the thing is, I can't come to you talking about insurance. However, I can talk with you about takaful. I can talk with you about building community trusts, some community development. Who's this here? Leanne McCartney, 9163. I think I've seen you here before. Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. So as I was saying at the beginning of the party, there were 3 words that I had focused on at the beginning of last week. Grift, swindle, and giddy. Everyone's being accused of being a grifter nowadays because they're always trying to swindle you and give you a deal that makes you feel giddy. I am a representative of no nation of men. I represent the original system set in balance in place. It cannot be defined by imaginary lines, nor any flag or color. Tada, Shukran. Thank you for subbing. Liam McCartney. I appreciate it. Grifting, swindling, and making you giddy. So, if you look back on the material that I share, if you look back on the wall and see the different videos, on TikTok, there are some that I can't show because they are over 1 minute. With TikTok, I produce my own music, so if I have anything over a minute long, they'll say no, I can't use that because it's not with their free copyright agreement. Because my stuff is protected under copyright. My stuff is uh, under distribution and publication. At the moment, I am leaving Sugo Music Group. They actually closed out the contract July 23rd. I found a new one called Source Note, or Route Note. That's what it is, Route Notes. You can upload a full album and receive your UPC number, your barcode, and also your ISRC, the individual codes for your songs, each track. Let's see here. Nayo VR Gaming, it's been a very long time. Yes, I do remember you. Hashem Yahav Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. It's very tabah to have you here. Peace and blessings be upon you, your family, and your circle. So yes, I'm switching from Sugo Music to a new company called Route Notes. You know, most people, when they say they're a producer, they say, okay, well, I made a beat and I'm going to sell it on a streaming site for $1,000 or maybe less. That's not what I do. Not at all. Now, I can make my instrumentals available for you so that you can pick them up and use them. What's my favorite color, you ask me? Nayal VR Gaming. What's my favorite color, baby? Live in color. Black, gray, and blue. In no particular order. Instead of being someone who says, I'm a beat seller, I put the instrumentals to the back end of videos so that while it's being played, it's counted as a stream. I do that so that when a person decides that they want to use some music,
He's trained up.
I'm available to where I can actually make a custom song for you and register it. Selah. Time out. Now, Nile VR Gaming, why are you asking me questions off color? You say yours is mine green, white, and orange. There's a few different nationalities that use such colors. I don't watch sports. And why are you asking me questions that are off subject? Are you into VR gaming as far as you play games and then you want people to come watch you? And answer with that with more than just a yes. Right, you see, this focus is about entrepreneurship. It's not about just sports or anything like that. So you gave me a yes. You want people to come watch you while you're gaming? I ask you that because one of the special interest groups that I will promote is involved with people who play games. If you'd like to host online your own streaming while you're playing, then I wouldn't mind promoting you. There has to be a mutual exchange. So today, right now, while I'm talking, I'm speaking with everyone who has their own interest in being an entrepreneur. Yes, I do have a Discord. You can find me at 3PROJH, 3P Roche, 3PROJH. Discord. That's what I was talking about. It's been a while since you've seen me, and I've actually been over on Discord. You've heard me say party in Sherwood Forest. Well, those are your clues. You can find me on Discord, 3P Roge. Yes, you can friend me on Discord. You have to find 3PROJH. Yes, come to Discord and friend me. And we can speak more there. As a matter of fact, there's more that we can have a better conversation because there's texting and also I host video chats and audio chats. We can speak live with each other. The same way that I do this, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, I've been gone, and during that time, I was doing Discord for a little while, and then I stopped. But I had to come back. The number 3, the letter P, R, O, J, H. You see it in the hashtags of the stuff that I do. 3PROJH. If you look at some of my recent shorts, it'll say find me on Discord at 3PROJH. Wookie 99. It's about to have you here. It's been a minute. Majid Sarime. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. The Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Today's party is brought to you by Plan, Produce, Peace. Your name on Discord is Niall R. Yale. I'll be looking for you. Now, I got you. I see it. Yeah, I see it. Okay. Later on, I'll see if I can look you up, all right? And I'll try to reach out to you. I got you. I got you. Plan, produce, peace. Plan out how you can be of service to people. And then give a product. And make sure that when you give that product, your service is a form of peace. Something that puts a smile on somebody else's face. Right? We've been going for about 38, 39 minutes. And like I said, normally we go for about 2 hours, right? We're about 15 minutes away from the top of the hour. Coffee. So on the topic of games, let's say you wanted to use a hashtag that unites people. One that I use is hashtag Gamers Unite. I'm known on Instagram and on Twitter, X, as one who does promote gamer lifestyle. My friends on Instagram, they play For Honor. I have some friends that, there's a guy on YouTube, the 40-year-old gamer. He plays, what's the name of the game where you're out in space exploring? He plays that, he plays Grounded, Sky Horizon, the driving game. Anything I won't say anything that's come out current, but most things. So there's even some things where I have videos where it shows Bobby Hill from King of the Hill, and he's saying, "Dad, I've decided what I want to do when I grow up. I'm going to sell trading cards and trading card accessories." Well, Bobby, never saw much value in cardboard. Made some videos. Your phone is at 2%. Well, Nayo, inshallah, Adon willing, this will be posted up later. It'll be saved on YouTube so you can come back and visit it, all right? And yeah, I wrote down your name in my notebook, so I'll be looking out for you, okay? And thank you. Thank you for coming through. You know, get a charge on that phone. What country do I live in? I live on the planet Earth. I follow the standards of Yahashar given to them by Yahweh Elohim. Awesome, awesome. Keep it alive if you can. That's what's up. 3P. Plan, produce, peace. 3P Roche. Plan, produce, peace, wind, spirit, soul. That's my name. That's my Shem. That's my authority. You know me as angelic discipline. Now you know another part of my name, my Shem. And it's still the same. Just a different combination. Because what's an angel? A messenger. What's discipline? Something that you can repetitively do without being wild. You have fine-tuned a craft. I have finely tuned and crafted being able to deliver the message of Yahweh Elohim. I won't tell you I'm the best. I found a route. So, we were talking about grifters and swindlers who will leave you giddy because they don't give you righteousness. Bruder David, Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. It's very glad to have you here, brother.
Calvin.
Right now, they're saying that people who are social media influencers, most of them are grifters. Most of them are trying to just sell you something to make you feel good, and then they leave with your money and you have a broken device or a broken heart for that matter. See, that's what a swindler does. They make you feel giddy. They make you feel all great until you find out things weren't exactly what you thought they were. And then I got to speaking with Matt Trucker. I do not have virtual reality, Nayal VR gaming. I shoot from the hip with 2 devices, 2 Androids. And they're kind of persnickety. If you know anything about R2D2 and C3PO, I got 2 Androids that I deal with. I do a lot with those 2 Androids.
Calvin.
What's up, Ace?
What's up?
Doing it live.
Yeah.
So, lost my train of thought for a second.
I just haven't heard you talking, so I thought you were off yet. No.
No, it's for 2 hours.
You're gonna live stream for 2 hours?
Yes.
It's crazy. When did you start? Like 30 minutes ago?
We've been going 44 minutes.
44. Because I think I saw you set it up, like, when I first came back.
When you were walking up, I was starting.
Yeah. Didn't even know it's been that long.
Mm-hmm. So I know we've been covering business proposals and all that kind of stuff, but there was something that I was going into. We've been talking about Takafu. Nayal VR Gaming wants to know who I'm talking to. I'm speaking with someone who knows about 3D printing. He also knows about robotics. He also knows about programming. And if you have a special request for certain things that you'd like printed up, well, it's the guy. But right now he's off camera because he doesn't need to be seen by the public. Is that fair enough of as an answer? Let's see here. Fabian Sokua, Mary Murphy, 186. Tate Anderson. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. Tada, shukran, gracias. Grazie, spasibo. Ashante. So yeah, we talked about the business proposals. There's 7 steps, and I need you to look up the template because you need to start talking about what your mission statement is. You need to start talking about things that you can do to help other people out, how you can produce tools or different services. If you happen to know about some people who can't get out and go grocery shopping, instead of them having to use DoorDash, ding dong. If you happen to know people who grow food and you've got a pickup truck, then you are the go-between. You use your pickup truck to take fresh produce to people. You see, I know of a certain minister, or a couple of certain ministers, who are involved in the hotshot routing. We all need to be talking with each other right now. I know a few brothers in stitching and tailoring and whatnot. We need to be talking right now. I mean, my phone needs to be blowing up. I need to be seeing you all in Discord. That's why that invite went out. Because yeah, Discord has been on for a minute. As a matter of fact, if you go there now, you're going to see a whole bunch of footage of things that you can check out as far as coming from me. The thing is, I don't want to just have a catalog of me because that's not what I do. I'm a curator. That means that I am responsible for collections and not just my own. I see your battery is growing, Niall. Awesome. Anlin. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Namaste. So when you get the mission statement going, then you're going to figure out in an executive summary who's running this. Well, I stand under what is expected from Yahweh Elohim as a sole proprietor. There's your management right there. Because you know what happens when you claim an LLC? It limits your license on what you contract. A sole proprietor makes agreements, and you're not limited. Niall Gaiman, you were asking me who I'm talking with. This is Ace from Everything's Aces. Anything you wanted to deal with as far as IT, programming in C++, Java, all that kind of thing. If you wanted something robotic, we can start on a small scale and grow up. How am I? Doing great today. Thank you for asking. And how about yourself? Jazakallah, as a matter of fact. May several blessings return to you from our Father. Thank you for asking. Honestly. Tanisha Dejonetti. Mooney Reich Ball. Oh, you know ish, I see you. Oh, Yahavada, no ish. I see you. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. First section of the business proposal would be your identification, your name and where to contact you, your phone number, email, physical address if you choose to. However, if you don't want to have a storefront, you want to work from home, hashtag work from home. You don't have to give your physical address. You want people to be able to contact you, and if necessarily, and you have a service where you send your product to people, and they do want to be able to access you through snail mail, as they say, you could have a physical address that they can contact, P.O. Box even. I'll catch you later on, Niall, VR Gaming. Take care of that phone. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum. John 53730. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. You ask how I am? Great. Fine, cold, and dandy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Having a great day. Thank you for asking. And how are you, by the way? How are you? You walked into a party where we're talking about ethics in entrepreneurship. So we have our contact section, and then we have the mission statement, and then we would have the executive summary where we declare that we are sole proprietor. What religion do you subscribe to? We have to understand the definition of a religion. If you brush your teeth every day, there's a lot of people who brush their teeth every day, so you're of the religion of brushing your teeth. If you happen to breathe, well, see, there's other people who breathe, so you're of the religion of breathing. If you're 6 feet above right now, if you are 6 feet above the dirt, you happen to be living. By definition, religion is something that people practice by large number, repetitively. I hope that answers your question. Contact section, mission statement, executive summary, and then let's talk about your location and your hours that you are available. And then we can talk about market analysis. One of them I can't remember right now. It's going to come back to me. But then in conclusion, you got your financial analysis. Niall, you're back. I'm back. That's what's up, man. You need to put together your business proposal because it's not just for the loan officer at the bank. It's for you. That's what's going to keep you on track. That's your outline. Because after every 3 months, you need to be able to read through that outline and make sure that you adhered to it, that you stuck with it, that you have reports about it. Why? Because if you did take out a loan, you're going to have to turn in such things. And then at the end of the year, there's a fiscal report. That's your 4 quarterly report, 4 quarters of the year. This was the progress. This is what happened, whether you took a loss or whether you have a gain. All of this is necessary. And that's just to claim your business. Because there's more to business than just standing around counting $1 plus $1 equals $2. There is your effect on the community. So you have your standing business, and then there might be somebody else in your community who has a different business. However, you both are considering the fact that your path is to make sure you are of service representing Yahweh Elohim. Your trade is a service and a benefit from the sustenance that comes from Yahweh Elohim. Going to watch something, you'll be back in 14 minutes. All right. Not a problem at all. Inshallah, we will be right here. Go enjoy yourself. Didi, Hector Tech, the Warrior 50. I believe I know that name. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings and mercy be upon you. Thank you all for coming in. What's your plan? What's your plan to produce peace? So while I was bringing up the definitions of grifting and swindling and causing a person to be giddy, I spoke with Mad Trucker. Mad Trucker has a message where he wants to help people prevent smooth brain syndrome. You see, there's this white salve that you put on your head, and then they buff your head until it becomes smooth. Your brain smooths out. The more wrinkles you have, they say the more intelligence you have. So if you smooth out the wrinkles, it's going to cause problems with your intelligence. And a lot of times what happens is we get fed the wrong information. We are misled, misguided, misdirected. And that causes a smooth brain syndrome. Now, it can be fixed. It takes Brother Matt Trucker to tell you about it. He and I were having a conversation, though, and he was telling me about Corinthians 13. It's a great message. So, at the end of Corinthians 13, out of all powers in the world, the greatest is love. And then there's the whole message of the verse itself. I'm not one that just quotes one verse. I like to read the whole chapter. And if at all possible, I want to read the whole book. Now, just Corinthians 13 by itself took me all the way back to Ecclesiastes. And I'm not the type of person that jumps from book to book to book. We're going to pause in the game for a minute. TikTok wants me to do the puzzle slide, so we have to wait for it to buffer up and do its thing. We've got Filier 7QO. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. Yeah, Filier 7QO. Lausik. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. So you got your proposal together. And you found somebody else who is also interested in community development. And you decide, okay, we can put some of our profits to the side in one shared pool. Only meant for if there's an emergency or something like that. Now, you actually can hold it in a banking system if you want to. That's a centralized system, though. And those who serve Yahweh Elohim can't use centralized banking, nor are they part of centralized government. Why? Our government is the standards of Yahweh Elohim. So we should have our own treasury as well. We are supposed to put back in the storehouses and disperse amongst each other. We are supposed to look out for the sick, the shut-in, the widows, the orphans, those who are imprisoned, and those who are traveling on the path and are not able to provide for themselves and without resources. Everything else is extra, everything else is a distraction. If you do happen to find someone who does need help, there's nothing wrong with helping them. As a matter of fact, it helps you gain stature. There's nothing wrong with gaining stature. That's what we're here for. People ask, what is the meaning of life? For you to gain stature in this physical being so that the next time that you see our Creator, you will actually have raised up in righteousness and are able to move to the next level. This fleshly life is a test. Selah. Now, you could start a fraternal order with 2 people. It's more beneficial if there's at least 10. Last time I checked, the nation of Yahasharayal, the family itself, started out with 12, and it grew to 14. Salah. Now, we've gone through what their names are, and what the breakdown is on what their names mean. There is a new focus that we need to be on. How did they contribute to the nation in order to make sure that the nation was stable and self-reliant because they were interdependent. Janu the Great, it's very Tabaa to have you here. Deb, it's very Tabaa to have you here too. It's been a minute since I've seen you, Janu. I haven't really been on either though. Hashem Yahab Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Wassalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. So as I was saying though, everybody wants to tell you that they're part of the tribes, that they're part of the family, that they're part of the chosen. Well, what do you do in this chosen family? It's not about the skin that you were born in. What type of work do you do? That's the question of the day. That's the question of your lifetime. What kind of work do you do? How do you contribute to society? How are you of service? What is your plan? What do you produce? Do you provide peace? Told Mad Trucker, Tada, thank you for the exchange. Because when he had me read through Chronicles 13, or I'm sorry, Corinthians 13, as he would say, no cap, it put a cap on the idea that I had started out with. Because I went to the etymology of it all. Come to find out, Grift, Swindle, and Giddy all share the same etymological root. Ghu, upside down E. Clay. Yes. Clay. Kukwita. Bienvenidos. Hashem Yahab Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. Welcome. I was still not finished with what I had going on. So as a thank you, I said, you know what? I'm going to do Brother Mad Trucker a solid. Since he describes smooth brain syndrome, let me see if I can draw up an image of it. Because as they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So you go to my profile, you might see a video where there's a skull and there's a brain exposed and there's some stuff getting poured on it and then it's getting buffed. Smooth brain syndrome. That's my gift to him. Because it's not that he's just on TikTok and YouTube ranting and raving. He's discussing a very needful thing. There are people who run around here misinforming other people. And they are also misinformed, yet they believe that they are standing on solid truth. That is the whole essence of smooth brain syndrome. Now, you can fight it all day on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. You see all of those places, that's Web 2. The land of Google, the land of Yelp, the land of Firefox, the land of Safari. That's Web 2. You can fight against it and fight against it all day. The issue is there's more trolls than there are people who are actually being honest. There are some people who are honestly misinformed and they're seeking information. And then you have those who are actively trying to misinform other people. That's a troll. Either way, suffering from smooth brain syndrome until they get the correct information and they apply it. Applied knowledge is power. So while there's Web 2, there's also Web 3. What's Web 3? That's the land of cryptocurrency. That's the land of encryption. Safe, secured, and all information is open and available. Most people know of cryptocurrency as far as Bitcoin. I can buy some Bitcoin. I can invest in some Bitcoin and watch it increase and grow. I can buy some Ethereum. I could buy some Tron-X. What if you could mint your own coin and actually trade it on eTrader? What if you could mint your own coin and actually do DMs, do direct messages with other people who have made their own coin, and you're actually part of the same network? What if you can mint your own coin, DM other people, and on top of that, DM the people who provide other apps, DApps, people who develop apps to use on that network? What if you had that kind of access? What if you could watch the growth of your coin the same way you watch Bitcoin and Ethereum, Dogecoin? What if you could actually talk with the people who brought it to being? You don't have that access with Bitcoin. There's a Facebook coin. It doesn't give you access to Facebook. And still, all you have is your profile. He's back again. You make sure you close that screen door behind you now. Yes, what if you could create your own creator coin, your own meme coin? And when you post something, people can do more than just like it or share it. They can tip you for it. Actual currency. You could get tipped whatever that currency is of your country or their country, or they could even tip you in certain coins into your e-wallet. What if you had access to that? You see, that's what I do. I'm trying to build a network where we can actually be established like that. It's already there. What I'm saying is I'm trying to bring some people in to do what I'm already doing, to grow the way that I'm growing. What if I told you, if you copyright your voice, if you copyright your intellectual property, then every time you upload content, you need to also register it so that when it is played on YouTube or if it is played on TikTok, then YouTube and TikTok actually have to honor you with royalties. Royalties won't make you rich. There's a cake, and then there's the icing. You could have a carrot cake, and then you got that glazed icing on the top. Royalties are that icing. What's the cake? When a person directly contributes to an artist, when you actually reach out to an artist and you say, hey, can you help me out? I need you to do something for me. I personally happen to be a graphic illustrator. I personally happen to be a producer who makes instrumentals. I personally happen to be a person who does video editing. I am a promoter. You might share your stuff to YouTube and to TikTok. I share my stuff to 15 different social media sites. When you see it get posted here and there, it's been all around the globe. I make the product, then I share the product, then I'm starting a whole nother process. Selah. You know something? I'm hungry. And I don't have $1 in my pocket. One of the things that they're doing out here on content now, they call it the beggar's market. Well, I don't have a 9 to 5. I haven't had a 9 to 5 in a very long time. I wouldn't ask you just to give me $1 or $5 or 10 or 20. I would rather make it an even exchange. Even if you were to give me a gift, I would rather still generate a picture in gratitude. Why? An image can be sold on the market for $5. An image can be turned into an NFT. What's an NFT? Non-fungible token, meaning it can't be produced anywhere else. Now that picture might be shown all over the place, but that particular shared post with that picture, there can be only one. And every time it's moved around to where somebody sees it, it's going to be moved along the blockchain, which means that it's actually going to gain value. So that same picture that I would send back to you because you sent me $5, put $5 as the value for that NFT. Post it. If someone buys it, they can always resell it. If they sell that same picture for $10 later on, that NFT is already set to where the owner would get 5% of that sale. Anyone who owns NFTs that I've made, or anyone who owns coins from me, would also get a 10%. I get 5%, and anybody who owns said property coming from me would get a 10%. So it's worth a person's while to invest in other people's coins. That's what happens on the Social World Network. Short, DESO. DESO. The Social World Network. It's a Web3 network that is decentralized. If you post something on TikTok or if you post something on YouTube, you have to wait for the algorithm to send it around and certain people to watch it. And the whole while, you don't necessarily get paid out anything monetarily. Now, those platforms, they are getting paid because there are advertisers who want us to post so people are scrolling and they stay on the platform, and while they're scrolling, there's an advertisement in between. Doesn't have to be Budweiser, sometimes it's Adobe. It's still an advertisement. So what if you wanted to be free and clear of all of that? What if you wanted to only see what was meant for you to see? And that would be what directly interests you, not what they want to throw at you. That depends on if you have a consumer mindset or a producer mindset. If you sent me $60, I would make you a video that is 1 minute long. That's $1 per second, where I've generated some pictures and I made a video set and designed to explain everything there is to know about you, where to reach you, what product or service you provide, or whatever special interest group that you'd like to talk about. It doesn't have to be about you. Because I'm a promoter, that's what I do. If you sent me $30 and you already have a picture, I could repost that picture once a day, every day for 30 days. And maybe even change the picture a little bit each time it goes out to 10 or 15 different social media sites that you don't even really use. Now all these other people know about you. If you sent me $190, I could do a whole tutoring for you all month. So that you learn all about organic marketing strategies and those that would fit you and actually grow